I'm Jim Fitzgerald, and I met King a few years back. I was working out at a gym. I had another trainer, and I would talk to him occasionally. And I think even I worked out with him one time while I was still with the other trainer. But after a few years with the other trainer, I stopped training with him, and I actually got busy with a program I was attending at graduate school. And I'm a trial attorney, so I was busy with trials. I was busy and I started to like cut back on the training and working out. And in addition to that, I started eating more and I put on weight and I put on more weight than I'd ever had. And I finished the program in 2007 and graduated. And then I decided it was time to do something about it, but I didn't know quite what. Luckily, one day I was on the street in town and I happened to see Coach, and I started to talk to him and said, well, maybe I should really consider talking further about starting training again. Which I came home and I spoke to David and I said, I think we should train, and I think it would be a good idea if we both trained, because we were both approaching 50 at the time, and it was something that I thought would be good for both of our health. And I also, my main goal at the time was I really wanted to try to take off some of the weight, keep the muscle toned, because as you get older, the muscle loses some of its strength and you lose some of your stability. And I didn't want to see that happen, as I've seen it happening with other people I know.
Okay, you answered the second question, which was your initial goal. That's good. So I'm going to move right along. What has the overall experience been like for you?
The overall experience has been, or I've enjoyed the overall experience with King because he does bring new things every week. It's also a total experience. It's not just about the training, which is what I had before with some of the trainers I had used. With them, you would show up and there was some dietary instruction, but it was minimal. With King, it's sort of an overall approach. He wants to know how you're doing psychologically, mentally, physically, all sides of it. It's a total package. And he takes into account your individual metabolism, which is also very helpful. For example, it turns out that I kind of knew some of this. It makes sense now looking back, but carbohydrates are a problem for me. Salt is a problem for me. And I didn't realize how significant that was in terms of weight and how I would feel. And after the years I've been with King, a couple of years I've been with him, I've lost about 25 pounds. I was getting ready to go on vacation. I felt really good going on vacation because I was going to be at the pool and at the beach, and I no longer felt bad about it. I didn't mind taking my shirt off. Things like that that seem a little egotistical, but it's kind of fun, and we look forward to it. And I'm really glad that I decided a couple of years ago to join him.
Excellent. So you kind of answered the other question too. But I do want to hear just your take on what do you think the coaching aspect has been like versus just a personal trainer.
I think the important thing with King, and it's sort of interesting when he first came and he introduced himself as a fitness coach. I'm an attorney, and terminology I pay attention to, and I sort of like, well, what does that really mean? And he explained it at first, and it made sense. And really, what it comes down to is the total package in terms of it's recognizing what you have to do in your life, recognizing what you want to change, recognizing your metabolism, recognizing your personality. It's a total overall motivational, making the workouts different, making them effective for you personally. An example might be that one of the things I never realized is how important the core is. And that's, I guess, more the training part than the coaching part. But the core is very important. He works that out. And I began to feel differently in my body. So it's just that we were on a boat this summer, and I suddenly realized when I was trying to stabilize myself that my core was a lot stronger than it ever was, and I had more balance, which is also something he's been working with me to get better with my balance, because I wasn't exactly the most coordinated or balanced person before we started, and so that's why I think the total coach package, it's like looking at your balance, it's looking at your muscles, it's looking at your body, it's looking at all of the things, and it's motivating you to change them.
Last question. Has this become a lifestyle for you, and how so?
I think another really important part of this is that it's not just a training session weekly or bi-weekly. It's actually an opportunity where um, you change your entire approach to things. eat oatmeal in the morning. I usually used to try to foolishly skip breakfast, but he kept stressing that. I make sure I eat carbohydrates, fruits, proteins. I paid less attention to that. And so it is a lifestyle change because I've also found that I watch what I eat more carefully, and I don't, and I kind of, I don't, at first portion control sounds horrible, but then when you realize that you only eat until you're full and you're comfortable and not over full, it then starts affecting your weight loss. And it's not difficult at that point because you eat more slowly, you eat more carefully, you pay more attention, and you lose the weight.